Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Georgiana, and today I'm going to go through and cut up some of these cards that we were talking about yesterday. So hopefully I can just use my small trimmer here. This one, and these are going to be for our Christmas card project, for the Angel Card Project and Cards for Soldiers. This one, I just printed the bottom half of the sheet so that I can fold it, or I cut it this way and fold it this way. So it didn't print all the way to the bottom, which I'm not super thrilled about, but it is what it is. So my printer, I don't know if it's lost some of its settings or if it needs an update or what's going on, but it's a little bit acting like it's not cooperating. Let's put it that way. All right, so we want to cut this at 5.5. And then when we go back and score it, let me see if I can find my scoreboard. Yep, I just dropped him in the trash. All right, so then we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Right, so there's 4 1/4. That's not quite on the edge though, but that's okay. It'll leave a lip at the top and the bottom. So let's do that and let's see what we get. So I'll grab my bone folder. I like to use the bottom or the lip, the edge of this trimmer here. Oh, that lighting is really bad. Let me see if I just don't turn that off, if it gets a little bit better. It happens every time I bring out this board because of the metallic edge. Okay, so those, see, doesn't go all the way to the edge there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work on that. It didn't work quite the way I wanted, but it's still cute. So this is printed on 110-pound cardstock, and these images are from Creative Fabrica. I will try to remember to relink these. I did a video that I recorded yesterday, or posted yesterday, and I did link it in there, but I'll try to relink it for you if you're interested, so you don't have to sift through the list, because there was 6 or 7 or 8, I think. Anyway, initially my idea was just to print a big ornament here and then cut it out, and I think I did eventually kind of accomplish that. Let's see, while we're at it, let's go ahead and do this one. So 4 1/4. There we go. So it's kind of an ornament flower cluster. And I talked about these when I first showed them. I believe at least the flowers are AI, artificial intelligence, created. I don't fully understand that, how all that works. Up until recently, I thought it was okay to use, and I'm just now kind of coming to know that I think it works in a way that's, some people are considering it theft. So, you know, do your own research on that, because I honestly don't know. But anyway, I think those are kind of cute, and they're, you know, I'm not real happy with the way the edge came out, but I think it's okay. And there's still room for a Christmas greeting on both of those. Now this one, this was how I initially wanted to do it. Let's get rid of this. And we'll grab Tim back out of the trash. He's been in the trash several times today. I believe this is from Tim Holtz. Yep, Tonic Studios, Tim Holtz. All right, so again, we're going to trim it at 5.5. Make sure it's lined up nicely. Just trim it right down the middle. And then we're going to do it at 4 1/4. And Christmas card fronts or card layers. We'll do the same thing with this. Now I will end up trimming some off of the edges here. just to make them fit the card front, to, you know, to be a little smaller. So this we want 4 1/4. I should quit talking because I'm going to make mistakes. All right, so what I meant by that was, this one I'm going to trim a little bit off the top. So we'll cut this down to 4. And when I go to use it, I may cut it even smaller. And then we're going to cut it down to 5 1/4. So there you go. This one I'm going to do the same. This I accidentally put it on a heavy cardstock, and it's 110 pounds. So I don't want to use it as a matting layer because it's just going to make the card really heavy. So I thought about cutting out slim lines out of it, but then it's still a card front. So except that I showed this the other day, but I'll get to it here later. I think I'm going to just go ahead and cut it in 4s. So we're going to go 5 1/2. And 4 1/4. And these I'm not going to trim down any further. That one's not great, but maybe if I put a really good sentiment on there. Anyway, 4 1/4. I like that one. And that one's okay. So I think we're done with the trimmer. I'm going to set these off to the side because I'm going to do something different with these. And actually I wanted to see, did the bottom, yeah, it's okay. And then these we'll put on card fronts. These two actually are cards, they just need the sentiments. So I may put these through a die, run a die through them just to kind of get some different edges on them. May just ink some edges. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna play with a couple different things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video for now. I'm gonna create my sentiments and then figure out how I'm going to finish all these. So I will be back. Alright guys, well I forgot to turn my mic back on, but what we're doing now is I've gone into Design Space and I'm going to print and cut some digital Christmas sentiments. So some of these are images that I've collected over the years, purchased over the years. Some are some that I've made. Others were actually in Design Space. This is one that I uploaded from my collection. Actually, you can see there's several there that I've been uploading. And so I'm going to pull this in just to show you. Now, what I want to do here, I believe, if I remember correctly, is I'm only going to use one of these, so I'm going to delete the others. And I'm just kind of trying to decide which one I want to keep. Some turn out better than others. Because it's Christmas, I kind of like to go with gold or, you know, holiday colors. And those don't always show up real well. But we're going to add some shapes to our desktop here. And I just use these to delete what I don't want to keep. because they are all part of the same image, so I can't just ungroup them and delete the ones that I want. So I just use these shapes to help me cover up what I don't want, and then I will slice them out of there. Sorry about that. This is just how I did it. And what I'll do is I'll weld those shapes together into one shape just for ease and convenience. And then I will select those shapes and the digital sentiments and slice away the ones that I've covered up here. And I do get a lot of warnings on these because of I suspect it's because of the highlights in the gold that makes them say that they won't print very well, that they're low resolution, but I didn't have any problem with them printing out. So I've just ignored those little errors over there on the side, on the right side, those little yellow triangles. So I apparently missed one little spot there, so I'm going to do this slice and again, just to get rid of that little part. So now we just have the one digital sentiment that I wanted to keep. And I'm going to show you how I do an offset on this. The first thing I try to do is I want to size it for the size that I'm going to want on the card. Now you can resize it later, but that will change the spacing on your offset. Some of us like a very specific size or border around our images, and so that will change it, just so you know. So probably, yeah, I'm enlarging it so that you can see it better. Well, so I can see it better too. And we've got it to the size we want. So now we're going to go up, I believe, and select offset. And it automatically defaults to 0.25, which is too big for me. I think it's probably too big for most people, but that's where it defaults to. So I usually go in and shoot for a 0.04. I like a little bit of a border, but not a lot. But one of the problems that you can see here is that there's a lot of spaces that aren't connected that are going to cut out. And I've changed the offset to black so you can see that better. And I don't really want it to cut out those middle parts between the Merry and the Christmas. So I am going to change the offset size so that I can eliminate those small center cuts. So I just deleted the offset, and we're going to try it again. So I had it at 0.04, but I am going to enlarge that. I think I need to go up to, let's see, that looks like a 6. And you can see now that the Y is connected to the Christmas below. The I is connected from Christmas to the Merry above. So now I can enclose all of this. So that's what I want. That will work, and it's not too much bigger than what I normally like. So now I'm going to select the offset, and I'm going to bring it to the front because I want to just work on the offset. And I'm going to bring in some shapes again, and we're going to weld those shapes over all of the white areas inside the Merry Christmas image. I like to use circles and squares. It just kind of depends on what I'm working on, but you can see the circle fits really nicely into that C for Christmas. And it fits there good too. So I'm just going to pick a few of those shapes and just try to fill this in, because for some reason the contour function does not work on the offsets. Now I don't know if this is a temporary thing. I don't know if it's always been this way. I've been getting updates on the regular basis for my design space, so it might be something they're working on. I'm just not really sure. So this is why I do it this way. Obviously, it would be much easier if you could just go into contour and delete all of those areas that you don't want to cut out. But until that is resolved, this is how I am addressing this problem. Still have one little spot there that I need to cover up. Next to that rectangle. I'll just slide that over a little bit more. So now I'm going to select those 4 shapes and I'm going to weld them together. And I could have gone ahead and selected the offset as well, which I will do later. So now that they're all welded together, I'm going to weld them to the offset, or maybe I already did that. And then I move the offset to the background and I change it to white because I don't want it to print in black. And then I select both the offset and the sentiment and I flatten them. And now it is ready to be printed and cut. So I've already created a sheet of them over here, and these are some that I've already printed and cut out. I just wanted to show you how I did it. I did mess up that Merry Christmas there that's upside down. I flipped it the wrong way and then got confused and reflipped it and didn't flip it back to, so it's reading right to left instead of left to right, I believe. Anyway, I couldn't use it, which is okay. I did have a little bit of extra space on there. I could have put a little bit more on there, but I chose not to. So I've cut everything out. Now I'm just going to glue it down to the cards in the back. And we're going to fast forward through this part because there's not really much more to say other than I did go back in and I did cut out the offset layer again, just so that I could layer up this cardstock a little bit more because I didn't want to use dimensionals. Again, trying to keep stuff from getting mangled in the postal service. So just kind of keeping it a little flatter. But I did want a little bit of dimension, so I did glue a backing layer on all of these, and some of them even got 2 layers added to the front part. So yeah, that's just going to go through and show you me putting them together. Now, there is another part. This is part 1. There's going to be a part 2. Hopefully it'll be more concise, and I'll remember to plug in my recorder so I don't stumble through trying to remember what I did. But until then, I'm going to turn some music on, and I appreciate you watching, and I would love to hear what you think of these. I think they would have been really nice printed on photo paper. That would have really brought the color out, or even just something that's got a little bit nicer background, maybe. You know, what's the word I want?